Welcome to Zionsville, home of the Nancy Burton Rail Trail and the Zionsville Rail Trail. Zionsville is on State Route 334, the eastern portion of which is named Sycamore Street and the western portion is named Oak Street. From 334 or Oak Street, one can go to 9th Street, turn south, and go a block to Pine Street, turn right or west, and go to the Nancy Burton Park and park there. Get out your shoes or your bicycle and begin the tour of the Nancy Burton Trail, which begins by going down a hill and getting onto the trail, which goes through a forest and goes to the bridge overseeing Eagle Creek, where people like to tube and walk. Between the High Bridge and Eagle Creek is a boardwalk which goes down to Starkey Park. Many people use the boardwalk for walking, for jogging, for walking dogs, both for exercise and connecting to Starkey Park and to the Eagle Creek. At the Eagle Creek, one can look up and see the 1919 concrete bridge of the old New York Central Railroad. And during summer, the water is warm and wonderful for family gatherings and exploring in the river. From the bridge at the very south end of the Nancy Burton, one can go north, in this case flying over, the woods that makes up the canopy for the mile of the Nancy Burton Trail. It is a thick canopy during summer and fairly dark. To the left is the walkway to Starkey Park. The canopy is thick enough that actually inside the canopy there's large openings because there's not a lot of grass growing. This is a very scenic, pleasurable walk on a stone surface. Coming north to where it opens up, there are picnic tables and a route to the left. The route to the left goes to a parking lot. The picnic tables are sitting on part of the old area of the railroad station. Continuing north, one leaves the stone and gets to asphalt, and if one goes to the left, one leaves the Nancy Burton Trail and continues northward, again through mottled leaves and trees, to come to the culvert under Oak Street or State Route 334. On your left. All with a wide swath and a natural area. One is generally going uphill, so it's a little bit slow, but passing milepost 1, one crests and begins going downhill, a chance for a speedy ride and a wind before coming to a long, straight stretch, again through mottled leaves and something of a tunnel effect. Taking the trail is a wonderful experience because one is in the middle of the urban environment, but with all the trees, it looks very rustic and pleasurable. At the crossover with going under Bloor Road is a map which shows the Zionsville Rail Trail and the other streets that have bicycle routes on it. Continuing north and passing other dog walkers and bicyclists, one comes to a split. The right split goes up to Mulberry Street. The left side goes through a tunnel. The tunnel goes under a four-way intersection. The trail continues northward and again is in a canopy of trees surroundings. There is a break to the right which goes to a school, an elementary school. Continuing northward, one passes a road, but the road is in a subdivision, and continuing on even more, one comes to the north end of the Zionsville Rail Trail. This Whitestown Road is the end of the Zionsville Rail Trail. While there's future plans to continue north, right now there is a nursery there, and one has the choice of either going south on Whitestown Road or turning around and returning on the Zionsville Rail Trail. We go back along the corridor to Ford Road and go to the village where we have lunch. Coming out from the village, we go through the parking lot, we come to Ford Road. We go across Ford Road, knowing that the cars are stopped for us, the bicyclists. We get on the trail along the side of Bloor Road. This pathway quite safe and provides a nice buffer between the houses on one side of the road on another. At Bloor Road, one can leave Ford Road and continue across the street. One can enter a small park area with lots of grasses and with an interesting circle with a brick pathway that meanders and serpentines around various stone columns, all of which provide a way to have a contemplative and meditative walk in an urban area without being bothered by other people. Upon leaving this small park enclave and meditative area, we get on the trail along Bloor Road, go down the hill, come to the Zionsville Rail Trail, and we turn left, taking the Zionsville Rail Trail north to Mulberry Street. This time we go up the ramp. At Mulberry Street, one can turn right and begin heading toward the village of Zionsville. Along the way, one is going to pass the Boys Club, a church, Zionsville High School, and several neighborhoods, and enjoy being on something of a crest which goes downhill in a gentle way along beautiful neighborhood areas. And then at the last comes upward to a stop sign at Ash Street. Continuing Ash Street, one can go through the city in various ways. 5th Street is one good way to go. One passes Brown Antiques, a noted business, and the old library. One sees a number of old houses along the west side of the downtown, and then comes to Oak Street or State Route 334, where one has to stop and wait for traffic.
Here we go.
Continuing, one can come to Pine Street, turn right, and go slight hill to the parking space where one has left their car. David Brown, who runs Brown's Antiques, is to a great extent responsible for developing the trails, even at a time when, as he was head of the Parks Department and later on the City Council, got either no respect or only slight respect, but he kept encouraging for the trails to come about. And it is thanks to him and then his followers that during the 90s and during the first 10 years of the 2000s that Zionsville has developed and is continuing to develop not just a trail, not just one bicycle path, but a series of bicycle and walking corridors that many people use throughout the year to get to shopping, to get to schools, to use for recreation, and to get around town.